Well, hello there, everybody. It is so good to be here with you. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I advocate on behalf of all women who are working on their own home, trying to create gorgeous things. Maybe your results have been falling a little flat. No more. Here at the Interior Design Advocate, it is our job to erase the ugly room, erase the disappointing result. And we do that with all of the great strategies that I teach and the great courses that I put together. And every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I love to come out here and talk to you, have a little dialogue, motivate you in your life, make sure that in your design life, make sure that, well, in your life, I guess it's all connected, right? And make sure that you are just loving the way your home looks and loving waking up in the mornings to your surroundings. And so today we're going to be tackling a topic I definitely want to hear from you about as well, and it has to do with design envy. I'm sorry, by the way, that I couldn't be with you last Tuesday. I was at the Design Influencer Conference down in Atlanta. It was incredible. Kind of got stuck at the airport getting home, so I did an impromptu Facebook Live from the Atlanta airport, gate D4, D as in definitely want to get out of the airport 4. It was a long, long afternoon and evening there, but we had a great impromptu Facebook Live, and I was designing for you and just kind of winging it, and all kinds of mayhem was happening in the airport around us. But anyway, back to our Tuesday 4 p.m. lives. It's so good to be here with you. So here's the story. Design envy is something that doesn't really feel so great to live through, right? And it's something that most people, design lovers, sensitives to design, if you're a sensitive in life, you probably are a sensitive in design, probably feeling a little pang of design envy now and again. And it doesn't feel really great when that happens to you. You can get into a lot of self-judgment, and it just kind of shuts you down and it stops you from doing anything terrific for yourself and in your home. And I'm getting all kinds of hellos and waves, and I appreciate it. It's so good to see everybody back out here with us. So I have some things to share with you to help you kick design envy, kick it to the curb, and to get you moving. Let's think about this. I mean, it is March. The new year has definitely kicked off and started happening, but we're just now starting to get closer to that spring time frame. And this is the time when so many people start to wake up in design and get motivated to do more in design. So we thought that this was a really timely topic. Design envy. I'd love to know from you if you've ever felt a pang of design envy or design jealousy, maybe when you've gone to visit a buddy's house, or maybe if you've been traveling, or maybe when you're spending a lot of time on Instagram or Facebook or House. I'm getting a lot of smiley faces and thumbs up on that. Let's face it, we live in a world right now that is an Insta-Facebook world, right? It's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's House, it's what else? House, Pinterest. We are bombarded by what we are being told it should look like, what we should look like, what our home should look like. And it's really easy to kind of look down at the 9 square. That's what the Instagram squares are called for we Instagrammers. It's easy to look down at that 9 square and think, oh, I'm not doing so well. My house doesn't look like all that. My apartment doesn't look like all that. So first and foremost, we want to get you to stop the comparison sandwich. So the first thing I'd like to suggest to you, I've got 3 things to share with you to help you kick design envy to the curb, get rid of it. They're all shifts in perception, and some of them require a decision and a new action. So first, let's start at the bottom rung, the easiest thing that takes really no time. It's purely a decision, doesn't take any time, and it doesn't take any money either. And it has to do with shifting your perception about beauty. If I were to take you to a wonderful museum filled with art that you just thought was amazing, or if I took you to a gorgeous garden that just completely lifted your spirit, fed your creative soul, that you thought was just stunning, it would inspire you and lift you. It wouldn't put you into that sense of, oh, jeepers, why can't I have this? Because you wouldn't be walking into those circumstances thinking, hey, these pieces of artwork from this museum should be mine, or this big public garden that's so stunning should be mine. If anything, you're just looking at it for beauty's sake, and beauty has a grace to it, doesn't it? It's kind of an uplifting sort of thing. Well, when I was down at the Design Influencer Conference, we had an ending night gala at the home of a then just undisclosed designer. Turns out it was Melanie Turner. and her work is stunning. She's a very well-respected designer with a national footprint, very, very big down south, and her home is a 100-year-old home, stunning home. The art collection in this home alone would have just made your jaw drop. And the appointments in this home, not just the architecture, which was spectacular, but also the layered, nuanced appointments throughout the home were so gorgeous. And I have to tell you that as I strolled through this beautiful palatial estate, it was gorgeous inside, it was gorgeous outside. We were not allowed to photograph because Melanie actually has a book coming out. But anyway, as I strolled this estate and refilled my Prosecco glass, etc., I was just so thrilled by the beauty. I just couldn't drink it in enough, and never once did I stop and think, oh jeepers, but this is so much bigger than where I live, or so much more beautiful than where I live. I looked at it for beauty's sake, and I just let that feed and fill me. So if you can start to do that in design, even if you're spending time on the 9 Square on your phone, or if you're pinning pin boards on Pinterest, do it with the intention of letting it fill you and feed your spirit, just the way when you gaze at a beautiful bouquet of flowers, it just sort of lifts you. And I want you to know that someone else's beauty in their home doesn't mean that you can't have beauty in your home. There is no finite piece of beauty, or there's no finite supply of beauty. There's no finite supply of grace. Someone else's health doesn't mean that you are unhealthy. Someone else's joy doesn't mean that you have to be unjoyful, right? So I'd love for you to start thinking about design as art, as something that can just lift you and just drink it in. If you're spending an evening in a friend's home and the house is just so beautiful, or her condo is just so beautiful, just let that lift you. Drink that in, let it fill you and inspire you and put a pep in your step, and let it stop there. Okay, so that's the first thing I'd share with you. Someone else's beauty doesn't mean that you can't have that beauty as well. It's a shift in perception. The next thing I'd like to share with you is not just to kick design envy and design jealousy to the curb. I'd like to suggest something that you can do very, very immediately in your own beautiful nest and abode. Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of money, but really can yield great results. Sometime between now and this Sunday night, I would like for you to resolve to declutter entirely 2 key spaces in your home. I don't care if it's your master bedroom and your living room, or your kitchen and your great room. 2 key spaces. I want you to go in there and declutter brutally, because really what that clutter is, that those piles of stuff, that is dead energy, it's stuck energy, it's indecision, it's you're running too hard and fast. Whatever we are in the inner, we start to create an out picture on the outer. And I know that when I'm in a crazy overwork, workaholic mode, I'm not proud of the fact that I get into workaholism. It's kind of a way that I cope with stress. But I know the more worked up I get, the more the piles of stuff start to pile up in our kitchen and in our bedroom. When you do that, you start to absolutely chip away so dramatically at the beauty of your home. The easiest thing to do is get out that trash bag, put on some music, and I want you to start decluttering. But it doesn't stop there. I want you to resolve to and execute, Marie Kondo, your two spaces. But from there, I also want you to resolve to treat yourself for the next 4 weeks. Spring is coming. I want you to treat yourself to fresh flowers once a week in one of those spaces. Doesn't have to be expensive. I'm not saying you've got to go to the local florist and spend $35, $45 on a bouquet of flowers. It's tulip season. It's daffodil season. You can find great little bouquets in your local grocery store for $6, $8. You want to splurge, maybe $12, but resolve to put that beauty in your life every single week for the next 4 weeks. And I'll check back with you in 4 weeks. We've decluttered 2 spaces, and just in one of those spaces, put beautiful fresh flowers. Do something elegant, all in one color, as opposed to a hodgepodge mix of a little bit of everything. Let there be like a simplicity to it. So it's just about this gorgeous burst of something in your home, okay? So to kick that design envy to the curb, one idea is to start to look at other people's beautiful design as a piece of artwork, something you can enjoy to lift your spirit, fill you and feed you, and it has nothing to do with what you can or cannot have. And then what kind of immediately actionable steps can you take in your home right now, between now and Sunday night, to markedly impact and improve the beauty and the grace in your home? those two little steps. One is totally no cost, it costs time, but it's that massive declutter. And the other is to start putting some fresh flowers in your space. In fact, I recently read the spiritualist Eckhart Tolle, the philosopher, the modern day philosopher. He talked about the fact that flowers are actually a very heavily energized output from a plant. So there's something very grace-filled about that from his perspective as a spiritualist. So again, we're going to put some fresh flowers in your space just to help elevate the aesthetic in your space. And then the last thing you can do to totally kick design envy to the curb, because remember, someone else's beautiful home has nothing to do with how beautiful your home can be. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not about budget either. I have worked on and walked into spaces where a lot of money was spent and they were not good looking spaces. And I have walked into and worked on spaces where there was a very finite budget, but it was so thoughtfully and clearly and strategically done that it was, you just want to take a breath. It was just gorgeous. So here comes the last piece. Regardless of your budget, if you are feeling any sort of tinge of design envy, in addition to what I've just suggested to kick it to the curb, I want you to resolve sometime between now and let's say, okay, till Sunday night, you're going to be decluttering. So sometime between now and next week when we meet again, I want you to resolve to educate yourself. No more Marco Polo design, no more pin the tail on the donkey design, no more guesswork design, because all of that nonsense and tail chasing and merry-go-rounding has landed you exactly where you are now. You have to educate yourself so that you know what the wise moves are to move forward and beautify your home, to spend every single dime, nickel, and dollar wisely to make sure that every single decision you make is the right one. You need to educate yourself so that you know how to band-aid maybe the less than optimal decisions you've made in the past. I don't care if you educate yourself with one of our great courses. I don't care if you educate yourself with another interior design coach. By the way, did you know, Katie, I don't know if you know this, I was recently called one of America's leading interior design coaches. I was. I'm not going to tell you who said it. It wasn't my mother. My mother's no longer alive, so it really couldn't have been my mother. I'm bringing the whole thing down here. But anyway, I don't care who you do your studying with. I don't care if you learn with me. I'd love to take you under my wing and empower you the way I do non-professionally trained designers across the country, and my peeps get amazing results. I don't care if you choose a course near you at a college. I don't care what you choose, but educate yourself. Stop doing nothing. The nothing lane doesn't get you anywhere. Educate yourself so that you know that no matter how big a move you make, if it's just with accessories, if it's with some new furnishings, if it's just with the paint color, I don't care what that move will be or those moves, but make sure you educate yourself so that you know that you are putting one foot firmly and solidly and squarely in front of the other, and you will create things that absolutely amaze you. Not by pinning more Pinterest boards, not by surfing hows, by educating yourself. I see it time and time again with our community. I see what my peeps, what my women, my amazing design lovers, I see what they create and they stun themselves. I'm grinning ear to ear. Their families are thrilled, and it is totally quality of life changing and enhancing. So where are you on design envy? I'd love to know. Put in a comment, have you ever felt a pang of design envy when you've gone into someone else's home? And if you did, how did it make you feel about yourself? I remember feeling that way as a kid constantly. I grew up on Long Island. My dad was not doing well financially. I grew up during the recession of the 70s, and everyone else that we were friendly with had such beautiful homes, and our home didn't look so good. And I really hated myself for feeling that piece of design envy, that the pang I would feel as a kid, because I misunderstood and thought that someone else's beauty in their home meant that I couldn't have it for myself and my family. So where are you on this topic? I'd love to know. So Linda's saying it's great to be here. Wendy Hughes is agreeing, saying absolutely. Gail McCann is saying she loves this subject. I hear you, Gail. It's not something women like talking about. We all compare ourselves. We compare ourselves. Is she older than me? Is she younger than me? Does she look better than me? Does she look skinnier than me? Am I fatter than she is? And we do it with our homes too. We've got to stop doing that, because all you do is you shut down your energy, you end up feeling lousy, and then what can you create from that space? Absolutely nothing. So that sounds like a lyric. Absolutely nothing. Hey, say it again. What is that song, War? Something like that. I don't know. I'm singing weird stuff. Erin's welcoming me back. Okay, Mary Lou is saying no, she did not lose her connection. Mindy saying she didn't lose her connection. Mary Lou did. Mary Lou, I hope you're back. Somebody's having a Wi-Fi issue. Okay, Wendy loves Eckhart Tolle, don't you though? Love him, love him. If you haven't read, what's his big, I think A New Earth, is that his big new one? Very good. Oprah did like a whole thing on his work. Beverly is saying thank you. She needed to hear this today. Darlene is saying thank you. Great advice. Love it. I'm so glad. Mary's saying you're amazing. Mary, I did not pay Mary $5 to say that. Thank you, Mary. Mary Lou has said that she's been second guessing herself all week, having trouble deciding on a rug. Mary Lou, educate yourself. I want you to know exactly what rug you should be putting in to your home. There is no guesswork in design. You should feel as solid on that as you do, pulling out your vitamin in the morning and swallowing that, or deciding where you're going on vacation, or deciding what to put on in the morning, deciding what new doctor to try, deciding what speech therapist you want to take your child to. When you know you need to do something in life, you just do it. That is how clear and confident you need to be in design. The way you get there is not by information overload. It's not by pinning more pictures. There is nothing wrong with you if you're feeling overwhelmed with design, because that's what you've been doing. All the Pinterest pinning and the house surfing and the Instagram watching and the Facebook watching. There's nothing wrong with you if you're feeling overloaded and envious of what you believe other people are doing. I'm telling you right now, educate yourself. You will see a huge difference, and do some of those little adjustments I talked about earlier. Beauty as an elixir, and also what kind of immediately actionable takes can you make, or steps can you take in your home. We talked about, a total chop decluttering, and then adding those fresh flowers for a full month once a week. So there are some things you can do immediately, but I honestly believe long term, it's an attitude adjustment as well as educating yourself. Gail is saying that she always has had design envy, never feels like your home measures up. Gail, let me tell you something. Your home measures up because it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your spirit, of your beauty. I'm getting emotional here. I don't ever want you to feel like your home doesn't measure up, ever. You are so much more than your home, and your home is just an outpicturing of who you were when you made those decisions. And if it was a haphazard decision, then you made some haphazard decisions. You can go back and correct that. You absolutely can. And I want you to find someone who can coach you into that. You can look at you can join our Facebook Lives every week. You can go to our YouTube channel where we're starting to post our Facebook Lives. If you want to invest in one of our courses, you can. But again, you can invest in a course at a college near you. I don't care how you educate yourself. But the more serious you are in wanting to make a change, I'm telling you, you can do it. And I have seen women of every budget, of every professional background, non-professional background, do so much in their home. And when I say professional background, I mean working in different industries. I don't mean working in design. When you educate yourself with the right coach, the right teacher, the right courses, amazing things can happen. So I definitely want to see you, Gail, feel a thrill in your step, because that your home reflects who you are and the beauty that you carry in your heart. And I know you can do that. And I'm rooting for you to do that. Nancy says she feels like a loser. Nancy, no way, Jose. By virtue of the fact that you are sensitive to design, you are a sensitive. You probably, if you're watching my Facebook Lives, I am willing to guess that most of you, if not all of you, are somewhat empathic to a greater or lesser degree, meaning you're sensitive to the currents, right? You're sensitive to sound or to smell or to sight, the way things look. You can see a sunset and go, ah. If you're sensitive to your surroundings, if you're sensitive to the beauty in your home, think about it. That means you have other sensitivities, right? You might have some food sensitivities, or if you're the kind of person who feels really tired after you're with a group of people, chances are you're somewhat empathic. You are a sensitive. So if you know that about yourself, then you know that creating an environment, a home that feels just grace-filled, and to me, grace and beauty are one and the same, just filled with a beauty that feeds your particular spirit. Such an important thing to know about yourself if you know that's something that you need. So I don't ever want you to refer to yourself as a loser, Nancy. No way. I think you're very, very bright and you're sensitive to your surroundings, and that is something to be applauded and honored. Definitely not something to not to criticize yourself about. Katie is telling me I'm starting to run out of time because we have another meeting to get to, so I'm just gonna keep going here. Cheryl is telling me she has felt inadequate in design. Mary is saying she wants the wow factor, but right now she has just the okay factor. Mary Lou, that's really common too. And again, educate yourself. I am telling you, it's a game changer when you do that. There are people who put more time into researching a trip to Disney than they do educating themselves on how to really put together a room, because I'm telling you, those rooms on Pinterest you love, those rooms on House that you love, those rooms were not put together with guesswork design, what I call Marco Polo design, or pin the tail on the donkey design. That's not how those came together. They came together using very clear, specific strategies and a specific path. And once you know that path, you just rinse and repeat. You push that button and you keep getting that same great result. And I'm telling you, it's all very doable. It's much more doable than you even imagine. Loretta is loving my glasses. You do? Costco. You too can get them. I lose glasses and pens like crazy. So I will not spend a lot of money on sunglasses, readers, or pens. And can I tell you, once in my career, I got somebody a phenomenal job. I mean, great. It was like my networking skill at its best. And she sent me a Tiffany pen. And I thought, oh, heavens to Murgatroyd, I'm going to lose this thing. And within 2 weeks, boom, that pen was gone. Beverly is saying she's definitely a sensitive. I should do a course for sensitives. Katie, I should do a course for sensitives. I should do that. I should do that. All right. Giving me a lot of ideas. You know, should I tell everybody now, Katie, about the thing that's happening in September?
Go for it.
All right. I'm doing it. You ready? Conference in September. Oh yeah, live conference. It is a Design Diva meetup in Philadelphia, day-and-a-half conference. And if you are a design sensitive girlfriend, you belong there. We're going to be up-leveling who you are in design, how you're approaching your home. You're going to walk out of there so inspired and ready to take action, and easy action on your home. Plus, it'll be a great bonding weekend with other design sensitives. So just letting you know, it's coming in September. Marie Harvey's asking, can I recommend a free space design program? A free space planning? Free space planning? Can I recommend a free space design program? A free Icovia. A lot of our, see, little voice over there. Hello, Katie. Yes, Icovia is what a lot of our students like using. So we use a paid program here at the design studio, but Icovia seems to be very user-friendly. So hopefully that'll be good for you too. Nancy Lem is saying, thank you. You're welcome, Nancy. I'm sending you a hug. In fact, everybody do this right now. That was a hug for Nancy. That was all for you, Nancy. Margaret's saying that I inspire her. Thank you so much, Margaret. Right back at you, and I appreciate that. Yes, so Marie wanted, yes, something for planning. So listen, Instagram, I don't want to make you feel bad, but you guys were a little quiet. I am getting a lot of waves, but not a lot of comments. You guys could have commented. If you're watching this on Instagram, so great to have you with us. If you're watching this on Facebook, please follow us at Instagram, right there, at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. And if you're watching this on YouTube because you're seeing it as a replay, hugs to you too, girlfriend. So good to have you. Leave a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Am I allowed to say that because I'm on Facebook right now? I just said it. There you go. Listen, lovelies, here's what we're talking about next time. We're talking about small kitchen design. Yes, yes, we are. I don't care how big your kitchen is. Everybody is always fighting for an extra 6 inches. That's 6 inches right there. Boom, boom. I'm not giving you an evil sign. That's 6 inches. That's a quick measurement. That is how much space people sometimes fight for in kitchens. Sometimes people are fighting for a foot in a kitchen or 18 inches, but I've seen people fighting for just 6 more inches. Small kitchen design is the topic. Bring your questions to me next week. We'll be talking about your small kitchen design dilemma. And in the meantime, you have your assignment. Attitude adjustment or kicking design envy to the curb. You're doing that clutter clean out between now and Sunday night. You are adding fresh flowers to your home. You deserve it. Once a week for the next 4 weeks as we marshal in spring, and you are going to resolve by next Tuesday to educate yourself. You're going to decide where and how to educate yourself, but you're going to get some design education so you can start creating the beauty in your home that you want to be surrounded with, and you'll be able to get there once you know exactly what button to push and when. Okay, lovelies, I will see you next week. So good being back with you. Hugs to everybody, and we'll see you again next Tuesday, 4 p.m. See ya.